What's going on, Slayers? So, several months of playing Doom Eternal, and we've gotten events, but we haven't really gotten any updates to like battle mode, except for like patches, and the main campaign, except for like patches as well. On the 20th of October, we will be receiving a DLC. Now, we know that we're going to be battling, it looks like, in Urdak, or an offshoot of Urdak. It's going to have something to do with that. We're going to figure out exactly what it is when it gets here. But some people are also speculating that there's going to be changes to the battle mode. There's going to be new beasts, new things that we could incorporate here. So I thought it would be fun to give my 2 cents as to what new creatures or demons we could place along with the ones we already have in the battle mode arena. I'm Darkshot, the YouTube Assassin. Let's get our Doom Eternal on. So when it comes to battle mode, you either play as the Slayer or you play as the demons. And when you're playing as the demons, there are specific demons that we have. We have the Archvile and we also have the Marauder, both of which are considered super heavy. And then we have the Mancubus, the Pain Elemental, and the Revenant, all of which are considered just heavy. Okay, and then the weird thing is that some of these heavy monsters or heavy demons could actually summon other heavy demons. Like, you see the Revenant could summon a Cacodemon, which is another heavy. The Pain Elemental can summon a Hell Knight and a Prowler, both of which are heavy. Marauder, a Carcass, and an Arachnotron. Again, those are 2 heavy. The Mancubus, a Maker Drone, and a Cacodemon. And the Cacodemon obviously is heavy, and believe it or not, the Maker Drone is also considered heavy, which is kind of weird. The Archvile, a Carcass, and a Hell Knight, again, those 2 are heavy demons. Those are the classifications. Now, in order to get some kind of momentum going with this, I think one of the very first things they should do is remove the Hell Knight as a summonable creature and replace it with something else. What? I don't know. But I had a great for the Prowler, because I would like to see the Prowler as one of the demons that you could play as, and we could replace the Prowler with the Chain Gunner from Doom 2. We could have a whole new character. That would actually be pretty cool. Now, along with that, as far as Sentinel heroes go, besides the Slayer, maybe we should have a actual Sentinel from Sentinel Prime come in and be one of the characters. I think that would be cool. In fact, let's take a rundown, shall we? To really mix up battle mode, why not give the Slayer some extra backup? Why not, besides playing as the Slayer, you could also play as one of these Sentinels. Maybe it's even an offshoot of a Sentinel with his own powers and abilities. That would actually be kind of wild. Maybe he could be a Sentinel that's kind of like Doom Guy, that had a lot of fight in him, that actually survived these pits, this arena, and really, really proved himself. Different abilities than our Slayer, but still, that would be cool. And then not just that, maybe you could do 2-on-2 play kind of battles. Maybe you could have the Slayer and the Sentinel versus 2 demons. You could do a 2-on-2 occasionally. That would be kind of wild. That would really mix it up. Now, as far as the demons go, I really don't want to have any OP demons or bosses. I don't want to see like the Gladiator. I don't want to see the Tyrant, because the Tyrant would be crazy. The Doom Hunter would be wild. I mean, even summoning them like you do the Baron of Hell, that would just be too much. So we want to switch it up. We kind of want to do something else with them. We kind of want different kind of demons, and I have a lot of ideas for demons. So first of all, and you might not believe this, how about a pinky? Seriously, you could play this one of two ways. You could either play aggressively, where the pinky kind of like rams you and stuff like that, headbutts you, charges you. It's pretty much a beast. It's always been a tank in all the old Doom games, even in this game. You just really have to play aggressively and whatnot. And then, how about this for a power-up? For a power-up, the pinky can find some kind of orb, one of those invisibility orbs, and kind of become a specter. Could you imagine the gameplay that would bring to the table? Could you imagine going up against a creature that you can't see for like a couple of seconds? Do you know like how dangerous that would be? How freaking nuts that would be? Look how resilient this thing is. And then for it to like just disappear out of nowhere? That would be freaky. Of course, you would only get a couple of seconds of invisibility. You're not really invulnerable. There would be telltale signs just to make it fair, because you do need some balanced gameplay. So I think that would be kind of wild, but like as the Slayer or the Slayer Sentinel team is paying attention to other things, imagine being a pinky and sneaking up on your enemy only to kind of headbutt him or do some wild damage real quick. I think that would be kind of wild. I think that would be just something out of the ordinary. That would be really unusual, and I think it would be a lot of fun. I think that's something that they could definitely work with. But we'll see. So that we've got is something else that you really wouldn't believe. Believe it or not, I'd love to see a Prowler. Could you imagine just the sheer speed and the ability to throw projectiles, and then have that invisibility? You'd be able to like kind of teleport here and there without like the Slayer seeing you. Could you imagine what kind of gameplay that would be? That would be kind of wild. I'd love to see something like that. It would play kind of like the Spectre, not really, because you could kind of warp. You would have the telltale sign like you see there, where you see the little bubble disappear as like as the Prowler like disappears for like a quick second, and then just goes to another area. That would be kind of wild. That would be pretty stupendous gameplay, I'm not gonna lie. It would make things a little bit harder, a little bit difficult, and I think that would be great for 2-on-2 gameplay between the Slayer and the Sentinel versus, you know, any of these characters. That would be kind of wild, I would think.
Ask not what we can do for you. Ask what you can
How
do
about a
for
Whiplash? Could you imagine the speed that you would have to use? And you would have to be pretty quick of reflex in order to use the Whiplash. Slithering all over the place, he's moving pretty quickly, he's using whips, he's using all kinds of things like that. And then, you know, like, you have to be avoided. The only real way that you could really be taken out is maybe if you're frozen. That might be the only way to stop you. It might be something, it might not. You might have to like really, really figure out exactly how skillful you are before you use the Whiplash. I mean, look at this guy. He's got those chains. He's got actual freaking like sickles that he's holding. And then just the sheer speed. The way you can move, you could get away from the Slayer. Think about that. That would actually be pretty wild. It may be a little difficult as the Slayer to go up against one of these things, but all in all, I think it would be really cool, honestly. The Dread Knight. Imagine playing as a Dread Knight. Kind of like a Hell Knight, but armored and with a couple of blades. I think that would bring a lot of battle prowess and a lot of skill to the table as far as battling against the Slayer. Could you imagine? Look at this guy. Look at the moves on him. Imagine if you're doing that. You just have to figure out exactly how you want to chop him up. That would be kind of wild. Without being the Baron of Hell, and without actually having the Hell Knight, which the Hell Knight would have also been like a really good choice, but I could see this. I could see this being another creature that we play as. And the Slayer really would have to really be quick. Again, a lot of these characters are really stealthy, really speedy, and I think that that would be one of the better characters to play as to go up against the Slayer. I think that that is a win right there. I think that that would work. Finally, if we really want to crank up some difficulty, why not have the Mancubus find a power-up that'll turn him into the Cyber Mancubus? Kind of like the same thing that I was talking about with the Pinky becoming the Spectre, or even a Nightmare Spectre. That would be kind of cool. Could you imagine? You find a certain power-up, and it turns you into a Spectre. You find the same power-up, it goes to level 2, you become a Nightmare Spectre, which is from like Final Doom. That would be kind of cool. And just finding some kind of power-up that would turn a Mancubus who's playing as a demon character into a Cyber Mancubus, that would be kind of wild. All of a sudden you got armor, you're a little stronger, you've got some extra toxins that you're shooting and stuff like that, besides your fireballs. And then if they actually knock the armor off of you, then you're able to kind of use, you know, like your regular fireballs and stuff like that for a little while until you find like another one. Maybe it appears randomly. Maybe you just 1 in every 100 battles you gain that armor. Well, not every 1 in 100. That would be kind of high, but you know what I mean. Something along those lines. I think it would be cool to play against the Cyber Mancubus, but not like make it like a separate kind of like character, because that would be kind of cheesy. It's the same thing with the Cacodemon. I'm okay with the Cacodemon not being a playable character, only because we've got the Pain Elemental, and I mean, they would just kind of mimic each, like the Ryu and Ken of the Battlemode, where they would just, you know, I mean, obviously the Cacodemon wouldn't be able to shoot lost souls, but at the same time, it would still be able to fly around, do a bunch of like aerial maneuvers and stuff. Maybe not have a shield, but maybe have like a some kind of power blast or something, because that thing does shoot some like mega things out of its mouth. Like, I don't know how I feel about that, but that's a possibility. I mean, as long as we don't have like a tyrant, the Doom Hunter, because those things would be like way too OP. The Gladiator, I think, would be OP. I think it would just be way too much. But wait, I'm not done. There's a couple of other things that I want to see brought into this game besides all those things that I named as far as battle mode goes. And even in the campaign mode, I'd love to see these things. So here we go. Let's start off by going old school. How about bringing back the chain gunners? Could you imagine a couple of these guys in the campaign? Or even, especially in battle mode, if you could summon them? Could you imagine you summon like one and like your partner summons one? This would cause a lot of issues for freaking Slayers. It would really get out of hand real quick if they were able to come out and be battling those kind of things. They really need to give it back, my guy. We need them. We need chain gunners. That would be awesome. Bring it back. Bring them back. I would love it. That would be a challenge. Believe it or not, I'd love to see more of these Mecha Zombies. Those kind of zombies that have things on their arms, those guns, and they're just shooting at you. I'd like to see those. I'd like those to be kind of like something that you could summon as like a demon character. I think that that would cause a couple of problems for the Slayer. You got one of those things and a couple of chain gunners and stuff. I think you've got a winning combination for like high-level Slayers who are like really, really good. And trust me, by now, a lot of Slayers are really, really good. So it would be nice to kind of throw a wrench at them, kind of give them a challenge, see if they just like rise to the occasion, which I know a lot of them are, because a lot of you guys that are playing this game are actually pretty good at battle mode, and I really enjoy that challenge, both as a demon and as the Slayer myself. So I would love to see something like that. I would love to see some of those mecha zombies. I mean, with fire and with like blasters, that would kind of be wild. That would be really, really sick, honestly. And since I was talking a lot about buffs earlier, what if we actually had one of these totems? We had a buff totem, and all of a sudden all the demons and the player demons were just super empowered. How crazy would that be? I think that would be a lot of fun. That would make things a little bit difficult for the Slayer. Would make it a kind of challenge. I think it would be a lot of fun, honestly. And finally, I kind of think that this is what's going on in the DLC. But what if in the campaign, and even in the battle mode, we fought or played as one of the Maker Angels? Could you imagine this thing as a playable demon? Or even you attacking that thing in the campaign? That's gonna be wild. I really hope that we see a bunch of those, as well as a bunch of new demons in the campaign, some old demons that we haven't seen before in the campaign that haven't been around in a while, and I really do hope that we're able to like see some new stuff in battle mode as well. That would be a lot of fun. Anyway, let me know what you think. Do you want to see more characters come to battle mode? Do you want to see any of those creatures in the campaign? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What is your favorite idea? What is your least favorite idea? Do you have an alternative? Let the community know. Other than that, I really do hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe. It helps the channel out an awful lot. And as always, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching. Until the next one, take care.